Hello, Flo here. Another adventure. This might be the biggest adventure day of the year. Like that's hard to quantify or qualify, whatever the word is, because I've gone on a lot of adventures this year. But this is the first time I've had, well, aside from yesterday's adventure, it's the first time I've had the car available. So I was able to drive to a destination for the first time. And I got up relatively early this morning. I actually got up super early because I didn't sleep, but I didn't get out of the house, right away. Okay, I need to get around these bushes. Anyway, I should have a decent amount of time today. It's supposed to not rain at all, but it's already been sprinkling this morning on my way out here. So, not sure how reliable that info is. Okay, so I'm going to mark this area here as something. Okay. Gloves. Gloves are a pain. Oops. Okay, what's the date today? It is the 18th. Pretty quiet out here. I hear a little bit of a bird going crazy out there somewhere. Oh, I forgot to say what number this is. I like to say it on video so I can match them up later. B1331A. Okay, I need to keep my phone pretty handy because I don't exactly know which way I'm going. Okay, let me get a picture here though. I have infinite places to explore today, but I'm not going to have time for, everything. So there's some kind of ridge here that I can see on LiDAR map and contours a little bit too. Whoa. It looks like this is the edge of kind of a lava flow, or at least, I guess. I don't know all the technical lava terms. The ones that I've learned recently are, and I've forgotten some of them already, but you got lava channel and lava levees, lava flows. I learned a couple others, I can't remember. But this looks like a lava flow to me. And I'm right on the edge of it, that's why it's kind of sloped downward on the end there. I guess I'll mark this little spot too. As I've said many times, I'm no geologist. I wish I knew more, but I'll probably learn a bit as I go. Okay, so 1331B. B1331B. so I'm not exactly going the direction I want. I want to cut through these bushes somewhere, and I sort of see a clearing here. I might go a little bit. Oh, let me get a picture. Always forget. Okay. I don't want to go too slow because I want to get a lot done today. So I have a bunch of personal records. Most of them are almost unbeatable. I think I can eventually beat them if I really just go out for the sole purpose of beating my record. But just by getting out in a normal manner, like without, setting up a perfect condition to break my records, it would be virtually impossible just because of how high the bar is already. But I don't have necessarily a ton of different metrics, but one of them that I can remember offhand. Oh look, there's a little bat house here. Interesting. It's out in the middle of nowhere, really. Or I don't know if that's a bat house or a bird house. It looks more like a bird house, actually. I think the bat houses are usually longer vertically or something. Anyway, that's an interesting place for that. I wonder what the reason is. Anyway, the one that I can remember regarding my personal records is I've gone on 11 separate hikes in one day. So that's my personal record for that. And then there's other ones like number of miles in a day and things like that, which I don't know offhand, but the 11 per day is the one that always sticks with me as one that I'd like to beat eventually, because it sounds ridiculous, but I don't necessarily cheat, so I'm not gonna take 2 steps and call that a hike, take two more steps, call that another hike. But if I choose wisely, I can pick a bunch of really short hikes. They don't have to be 10 miles each or something. Okay, so this looks like a good clearing. And then some of the other records is like the year with the most hikes, most miles in a year. Most of my other records are annual things, which I keep track of because I have recordings of all my hikes, so I can have pretty good accurate whatever metrics, information, stats, all that. Okay, B1331C is this spot here. I don't know why my camera just turned off. That was just nonsensical. The battery's not dead. I'm not out of recording space. I have no idea why that happened. It's just weird. Hopefully my camera's not getting so aged that it's gonna start dying on me or something. Okay, I want to try to keep up the pace because, like I said, I'm not gonna actually try to beat that 11 in one day record by any means. Whoa! But I want to get, a few adventures in today, more than just one. So I want to keep moving, not get stuck in one spot for too long. So it might not be super apparent at this point, but I'm kind of walking along some kind of ridge. Sort of goes down on either side. I wasn't really sure how clear of a ridge it would be. It's quite a bit of stuff to bushwhack through, but it's really not that terrible. Okay. I'll label this little patch of boulders. keep following it. I may give up on this particular mission if I don't know, it's a iffy one. I think I'm sort of where I intended to be now. Okay. This will be B1331D. This is actually the start of this purple line that I put on the map. So this is actually the beginning of the route that I marked out. And this first part is, get a picture. This first part of it is going to be probably not very prominent or interesting, like maybe just kind of a gradual ridge with not too many rock features. I don't know because I can't tell from the map, but it just doesn't look as obvious a shape as a little bit further on. So. But even in this area, like there's, this rocky ridge in the middle of these trees that I wouldn't have expected. So that's kind of cool. This is more kind of what I thought it might be like on this ridge, is just following sort of a line of rocks based on the LiDAR map. And if any of you that watch my videos, you might hear me talking about LiDAR map, contour map, and of course satellite. Those are kind of my 3 tools for finding stuff. So I guess I'll mark this. The LiDAR map, though, is my latest find. I don't know when LiDAR was first invented or started being a thing, but it's very cool. Okay, this is B1331E. I'll have to check it out. LIDAR, if you're not already familiar with it. It's quite amazing, actually. Actually, the first time that I personally heard about LiDAR, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I've never actually verified that pronunciation, but the first time I heard about it that I can recall was, I think, one of the later model iPhones has LiDAR scanning in it. Well, I know it does. Oh, this is quite cool, actually. It's like a ridge on the back of a dragon or dinosaur or something. This moss is interesting too. Let's see if there's any secrets to find down there. So yeah, basically, I don't know exactly how LiDAR works. I believe it's some kind of laser scanning. Like the impression I get is that it's like a laser that's shot out in many different directions, maybe hundreds, thousands, millions. I don't know how many points there are, what the resolution is, but B1331F. But basically, it's just a way to get digital measurements of distances. And typically that's used for 3D scanning of objects. So with your iPhone, for example, you can take pictures and it will not only take the photo, but it will store like depth information in great detail. So you can do a lot of cool effects when you're editing your photos, such as changing the focal length, or not focal length, but just changing the focus after the fact. Like maybe you focus on somebody's face near you and the background is kind of blurred out or something. I'm not actually sure that's not actually logically making sense to me, to be able to change the focus just because you have depth information. But I can't remember the practical applications of LiDAR for that, but you can also use it to 3D scan objects if you're like wanting to work with 3D scenes, or potentially even scanning things so you can 3D print something or whatever. But I don't think the scanning is extremely precise to the point where you might, you probably get some sloppy or erroneous data that might make your 3D print come out kind of sloppy. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just babbling just to have something to talk about, It's good to have something to talk about. So I'm kind of curious at this point. This looks like a road. This is one of the things that I wasn't sure of, because it looks like there's a kind of a ramp that curves around this butte that I'm at the base of. I couldn't tell from LiDAR if it was a natural formation or like a road. So now it's kind of a hybrid. It has this natural ridge of rocks, but it also appears to be a road of some kind, like an old road that's not used anymore, obviously. Okay. Oh, part of it is that I'm not exactly on the ridge anymore either, according to my map. I call this B1331G. Okay. So yeah, this is not the most exciting adventure, but I'll start small, and actually the next one is going to be even more exciting. But the reason I'm kind of taking this format of like talking while I'm hiking is I want it to be also sort of like a vlog, so I can look back and just kind of have a visual and audio record of my adventures, but also some of the things that are going on in my life at the time, things I'm interested in. So I think this over here is the actual ridge that shows up on LiDAR. So I didn't fully explain what LiDAR is in the context of maps, but I assume, I've never watched any YouTube videos or documentaries or anything on LiDAR, but I'm assuming they have different sizes of LiDAR scanning equipment. One's very small for like a phone, and then they probably have larger scale ones that are mounted to airplanes or helicopters or whatever. And so they, when they're probably in the same time they're doing radar imagery photography, they're probably doing the LiDAR scans or separately. Oh cool, I did go to where I marked on the map. Okay, let's call this B1331H. I'm gonna run out of letters on this one for sure. So I'm just beginning, really. Okay. Yeah, these hikes tend to be really long. Even though the distance isn't very long, very far. I don't know if I actually stood there for a second to get a picture. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. It's like a little, almost, it looks kind of like a small crater to me. I'd say that's pretty sweet. I'll mark that and mention that it looks like a small crater. So lava probably spewed out of here. I mean, this whole thing is made out of lava underneath, but tiny crater on the side. Tommy crater. Swipe is terrible. Okay. This is B1331I. So good news is I'm going to keep interrupting myself as I think of different ideas. I tend to have that stream of consciousness way of communicating, but it's not raining so far. Like, it was raining a little bit, sprinkling as I was driving over here, but so I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have another one of those camera lens covered with a million droplets days. I should check it every once in a while, but sometimes it looked like I was just being sloppy on that last recording, or I think it'll be 2 recordings ago. Because of those huge drops on the lens, but they're so small you can't even really see them, but they show up really big in the video. So, well, just have to watch it, try to wipe it off when I'm ever in doubt. Okay, I'll call this B1331J. I don't want to constantly wipe it off if I don't really need to, though. Yeah, there's a car out there on the road. I'm actually not too far from a paved road. It's a recreational road that people use to get out to places, like to hunt or fish or go to lakes or hiking destinations, whatever. I don't think anybody drives there on their way to work or on their way home or anything like that. This is weird. Weird rock sticking out. I feel like I should get a picture of it because it's pretty large compared to all the other ones. B1331K. Yeah, I'm definitely going to run out of letters on this. I haven't set any kind of precedent on what to do if I run out of letters, because it hasn't happened yet. But it'll most definitely happen today. Every time I pick up my phone to make these markers, my brain kind of resets. I have to really consciously try to remember what I was talking about before, because I'm just switching my brain mode from narration or monologue to marking my hiking stuff. So I'll probably have a lot of those random change of subject moments along the way. One thing I was noticing about my latest color grade overall is I like it a lot. It matches reality pretty well, but I think the reds are a tiny bit exaggerated. These pine needles, I'm going to try to describe them so that when I get back I can maybe correct it a little bit. In the last few videos, the pine needles have looked really bright red. They're actually more of these ones at least are kind of brown and orange mixed, and the orange is muted like a rust orange. Pretty much brown though, what would you call it, raw sienna or something. Some definite color to it, but not red. So I'll try to fix that a bit when I get back. I guess I can mark these. B1331L, is that what I'm on? I think so. Okay, this is the end of this area, so I think I want to cut back up there somewhere. All right. Yeah, B1331L.